Cool, let's get it going. Let's kick it off. Let's do this thing, man. Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. This is my third stream in 3 days, go me. I'm John Bodman. I make easy to use music templates for other creators like myself. If you're into making music and you don't like starting from scratch, check out the link in the description of my channel. There's some free stuff there to get you going. And consider becoming a patron, because I really love those who are able to help me support this this kind of glorified hobby called making music and making the music templates available to you guys. What I'm doing now, how's my sales pitch coming along? I'm working on it every day. I'm getting better. What I'm doing now is I'm creating music for a 2D point-and-click adventure game set in the 1930s. And I've got some feedback from clients saying there's a character by the name of Harry Renfrew who is kind of mysterious. We don't know a lot about him. So I looked up some reference tracks and landed on a piece. I can't play you because of YouTube copyright stuff, but it's a kind of a very moody film noir, cool jazz type thing by Miles Davis called Maids of Cadiz. So I'm going to be kind of using that as a launch point for today. And without any further ado, I really want to get going because I've only got about an hour. So let's get going. First thing I want to do is, for some reason, my freaking transport bar has disappeared. There we go, cool. Bottom right over here, I'm clicking tap to get the rough tempo of this piece. And now you can hear it should be playing back quite slowly. And I'm going to be doing this kind of thing. Cool, let's take it from the top. Nice and easy. It's going to be a piano recording to start. I'm going to move myself out the way so you can see what's cooking. Just a sec. And there we go, cool. Actually, I think I'm going to put myself in the bottom right today. There we go. Leave a comment in the chat if you are interested in what I'm up to. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know what you think of the channel and how I can do better, how I can better serve you. So for now, let us get going with this recording. All ready? Here we go. In the key of B minor, 3, 4. And that is it. All we need for this section here. That was so nice. It was nice and peaceful, huh? I really enjoyed that. Cool. Cool. So we've got this part coming in. I'll use the click for now. And I just want to get rid of some of the modulation, sorry, some of the velocity on this chord over here. This third one, I think it was. Little more subtlety needed. That one there, yeah. Okay. Let's take it down a little bit. Okay. Happy with that. Let's move on. Now, this is a trumpet piece, and I don't play trumpet, so I'm going to use a library called Session Strings, and I'll see what the kind of results I get, and if I'm happy with it, then I'll include it. But otherwise, I'm going to have to find my trumpeter friend, Angelo. I think he might be the one for this. Let's see. First things first, we're going to import a new contact instrument, immediately rename it trumpet so we know what we're working with, and just set up some quick routing real quick. So we're going to go take it to the pre-master instead of the master. Now I should be ready to record. Alright, first things first, we've got to actually find the library. I normally have templates set up, but sometimes when I go in new directions, I don't have it, you can't prep everything. It's not feasible. Where are my session horns? There we go. That's one option. There is also the let's just try a couple here. There is also the Cuban library, which I believe has an instrument, although it might be, I think it has a trumpet instrument, but it might be a little bit like premeditated. In other words, they'll give you licks and short little passages that you can use, but when it comes to actually playing your own trumpet, creating your own trumpet melodies, then it might not have what you need. But let's see. So loading up session horns, the performance instance of it. There's also the single articulation instance over here, you can see, but let's try performance first. And while I'm at it, where is that Cuban library? Here it is. Let's see, melodic instrument, trumpet, perfectly preloaded for me. Okay, so now I've got those two loaded up on separate MIDI patches. Let's hide the library a little bit out at the side. Cool. And what we're going to try to do is just come up with some, there we go, that's trumpet. That's more like a trumpet ensemble though. A little bit soft too, huh? Okay, full section. Let's take that to one trumpet, one trombone. Something weird happening here. Trying to work out. Ah, it's different. Ah, okay. I have actually used this before. Okay, there are ways to improve on the sound. What I'm looking for is sort of a portamento sound. Portamento will allow you to move smoothly from one note to the next. And I've also got the wrong articulation on at the moment. The articulation is the difference between like ba 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 and ba ba ba. So I'm looking for a more legato articulation. Let's see if I can find it. While we're at it, we might as well focus. So there, by holding down this one note, every second note is giving me the wrong articulation. I don't want swells every time I play. That's what I'm looking for, straight notes. Okay, so let's try and find out a little bit more about this library while we're at it. Section setup, velocity switch. Here are some there we go, that seems to have done it. So now I've got this cool jazz sound that we're going for is very much long sustained lines in the style of, Chet Baker or Miles Davis. And now I know we're in the key of B minor, so let's just play around a bit. This is my favorite part of the composition, is just getting to play around and find out, explore the melodies and find out what works in the context of this game that we're writing for. Okay. I don't actually have a velocity or fading switch which I can minor nines work. That's where you have it like a, this one I'm playing now is a minor 9. Okay, we're really only looking for a short loop. So I'm going to duplicate that. Loop it up, so okay, that's a lovely opening line. Ding, ding, ding. Take it up a bit. Yeah, Yeah, let's do it like that. Up the B minor and down the F sharp minor. So it keeps it very minor. Even the dominant is minor. So we've got the minor tonic and the minor dominant like that. Okay. 2, 3. Cool. And that also gives it this Mixolydian sound. Kind of Mixolydian sound. Okay, here we go. Not going to get too theoretical. Cool. Okay, and without getting too fancy, we're looking for something thematic here. And I could play this kind of stuff for days, just background, sort of noodling, meandering melodies. But what we're actually looking for is something a little bit memorable. It is a leitmotif, like a character theme. So it has to be something that we associate with this character. And even if it's played on a different instrument, we still think of that character. That's the power of melody and music in general. 2, 3. I'm going to fix the sound in a minute. First, just get the notes down. Good. I don't like that timing. I like the notes, but not the timing. So let's fix the timing. So it was. Okay, says. Okay, good. Take it back a few bars. Let's click on. Oops, again. 2. I just can't get this timing. How about a duplet? So we stretch it out like a long triplet over that section. 2, 3. It's waffly again. That's lovely. Yeah, okay, so I like the way that times out nicely. Okay. Oops, I started from the wrong place. Right, first thing I want to do here is just bring this trumpet. Let's just experiment with different instruments for starters, because I know a trumpet is very sexy, but unfortunately we might have other sounds going on in the high end, and it's good to leave a space for this high frequency and high mid frequency range when you're writing, because often there's like dialogue or sound effects or something else that everything takes priority over music, except for special moments in a story when the music actually tells the story. It's better to just assume that something else is going to be, quote, more important. Music is subtle, it's background, that's kind of its power. It influences you without you consciously noticing it. So, long rant there, all to say that I'm going to change the instrument to a trombone. And let's see. TP1, TB, trombone, tubas. Let's try this out. Okay. Okay, it's the same pitch. What we can try and do now is just bring it down an octave. So that's going to be... Okay, I think it's there. 3. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of the territory that we're aiming for here. I'm going to move myself back over to the left so we can see what's going on here. That's lovely. I love that timing. Cool. Good, 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 good. Okay, now we should be repeating, which is nice. Okay. That's a much better sound to me. Let's just go through these sounds and see what we can. That's my phone notifying me there's going to be a power cut because I live in South Africa. Cool. Do, 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 do. That's lovely. Oh, it's so nice. Okay. Yeah, this is caring about the music you write, right? It's just having a bit of pride in the work. Okay, good. Okay, now that can be it. So I'm really only writing these 15-20 second samples, which I'll send to client and say, have you got any feedback for me? That would be useful. Cool. So this is a general sort of sound. Let's add, out of curiosity, I am going to change these to the MIDI note number 2. I think you can do that here. No, you can't. Change it in the inline editor, and firstly let's just hide that. Okay, all of these notes here I want to change them to MIDI channel 2, and what that's going to do is it's going to tell this trumpet sample to please play back the second instrument in this rack. You can see I've got session horns performance, and I've also got Cuba trumpet, which is on MIDI channel 2. So let's see how this sounds. It should just play with a trumpet sound, I hope. That's nice, yeah, but it sounds like it's got a mute. And also the note isn't sustaining, but anyway, so it's not sustained out. Okay. Oh, and I've gone beyond the below the range of the trumpet. So when we hit this note, it should play. Oh yes, I know what's happened now. We're on the. Let's take that up an octave. Okay, definitely not. Did it? Not what we're going for. Okay, not articulating the way we want, because that's the mixer channel. So actually what we need here is, oh no, not bass now. Oh, but bass is a good option too for the actual double bass, which the pizzicato, which I'm about to add. I'm about to add a bass pizzicato to this. So let us let's check it out. If you've just joined, this is a short composition stream. I'm writing music for a 2D action game, adventure game, and this is a film noir sounding piece which I am dedicating to a character called Harry Renfrew, who's a mysterious chap. He might be a bit of a spy. I like the timbre, the sound of this trumpet, but unfortunately it is not meeting the criteria of the piece, which is I need it to be long notes. So I'm going to switch that back to MIDI channel 1, which should trigger this sample instead. Now we've got longer notes, and while that's going, I'm going to add a new contact instrument, which is going to be our double bass. And I'm glad that I stumbled on the Cuba library now, because I've just realized and remembered that there's a double bass in there, which works quite nicely for pizzicato, which I now need. So let's open up the browser, grab the Cuba double bass instrument. If you're not familiar with this, this is Native Instruments. It's basically one of the most sophisticated samplers around, and it's got libraries. Those libraries on the left which allow you to play different sounds. Even if you don't have live instruments, you can still emulate the sound of live instruments. Okay, let's rename this bass. It's also bass pizzicato, and then, oh, it's a lovely sound. This, okay, great. There we go, good. We're going to do well with that. Okay, I want to get rid of the reverb on this. I want this to be a little bit more of a tighter sound. So let's try and find a mixer preset that is dry. That's what I'm after. I'm just going to add one note. It's going to be the simplest part ever. Here we go. 3, 4. So you're recording the bass note over there. The piano will carry the other bass note. There we go. Very easy. I almost don't even want to record the whole thing, but we go ahead. Are you ready for the last one? Cool, and that's about it. Alright, and now we can have that as our bass sound. Cool, I'm going to just give that a little quick quantize. We don't want it on swing, we want it on straight, and let's quantize it to an 1/8 with a strength of 89%. So it's not perfect, but it is on the grid. Cool, and that is probably all we're going to need from the bass for this section. Let's do some colorization. I like to separate out tracks according to color, so we'll get the drums going. A nice yellow for the bass. Usually I use blue for bass, I don't know why. It seems like the most low frequency. I don't know, blue, ultraviolet is a low frequency wavelength, so maybe that's it. Or maybe I'm just talking absolute shit. Could go either way, huh? Cool. Alright, so other than the trumpet, which sounds quite MIDI, and also it's very panned, very hard, I'm going to reduce that to a mono signal. Oh, now it sounds even worse. Okay, but before we get onto sounds, we're trying to actually sequence out some of this beautiful music. So. If you've got any thoughts on what's going on here, I'd love to hear it. You're welcome to comment in the chat. And while I'm at it, quick plug for my templates. You can download the free stuff that I've done. Stuff like this, similar to it, but different styles. I do like boogie music and 90s sitcom music. And there are templates you can download and import straight into Ableton or Reaper and just get going, starting making music, adapting it, seeing how I've done things, learning. It's about like seeing how other people are doing things. I have a feeling that this whole thing might be a little bit somber, and I don't know if it's going to be entirely welcome. The idea is there. Maybe it needs a bit more harmonic movement. I'm just actually in the background listening to the reference track, which is Maids of Cadiz by Miles Davis. I mean, you won't hear it because I don't want to get flagged on YouTube, but it's such a beautiful, lovely piece of music. We've also got a lot of harmony that I'm missing, so maybe what I can do is just keep that. I'm trying to think of how to approach this musically to make it film noir, but also at the same time not too somber, not too morose. What I'm going to try to do here, just for interest's sake, I'm going to add a couple of solo instruments. Here you got flute solo, clarinet solo, and I'm going to try and come up with some arrangements which could augment this trumpet melody to make it sound less sort of somber. How about some wider harmonies? Okay. It's a bit loud here. Can't really hear the... And also now the timbre, the sound of it is starting to annoy me a little bit. So I'm going to have to find another patch. Let's go with one trumpet again. That's cool. Now we've got that. So okay, cool. I like that. Okay, let's not. maybe that high note isn't quite the right timbre. Let's see what happens if I play the same thing on a flute. Okay, good. Let's just try the flute solo just to get the music. Very gentle background sound. What about some clarinets? Bit too bright, I'd say. Bassoon. That's the right sound. Now let's just not tighten it up too much. Let's do a nice trio ensemble, like so, something like trombone. Let's get one brass instrument and 2 winds, just to make this as complicated as possible. So we're going to do a bassoon in the low end, and it's going to go something like this. Yes, okay, good. Okay, that's our melody, very obscure. Okay, let's try and match that. So, good, all the wrong notes, love it. For 1 breather. Okay, let the piano take it. And now we can do a different one. Ba-da! Okay. That's quite a major sounding thing, isn't it? Okay, not quite right. Do, 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 do. Okay, here we go. Dude. Okay, let's try this. Oops. Love that. Cool. We just got to extend that outwards a little bit. So there's a musical idiom happening here, which is that the... Where is it? There we go. No. Go on out, you bastard. I'm trying to extend it to the right place. Trumpet is in the lead, and there are winds supporting it. That's it. That's the whole piece. And then, of course, drums. Sorry, we'll do a light brush, sort of light film noir type brush, cool jazz thing, and we'll do pizzicato in the bass and a bit of piano. But the rhythm section is doing very little, and actually the horns are doing very little too, so which makes the importance of the melodies and the harmonies that you choose more like highlighted. It draws you into the melodic and the harmonic by dampening the effect of the rhythm in this particular piece, which is actually different to most of the music I write. I'm more of a rhythmic person, as much as I don't like to admit it. Melody is not my forte, but this whole channel and all of my musical ability is about exploration. It's not really about entertainment for me, and so I'm exploring once again. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Explore with me, kids. All right, so mission 1 achieved, which is to find one of the 3 parts that I want to support this trumpet line. One of the 3 parts. Let's go on to part number 2, and I'm going to just choose a flute for that, solo flute, just to make it very... Actually, let's go with oboe. Oboe is my favorite. Where's that? Yeah, these oboes tend to get lost in the mix. So the bassoon's playing the E flat, sorry, So bassoon's playing do 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 do. So it's going down. I'm trying to work out what melodies are going to work here. And we're going to have to pump up the oboe a little bit. Pump up the oboe, I say. I say, old chap, won't you pump up that oboe of yours? Oh, that's that horrible note where they've resampled it as a loop. I know what they've done there. Okay. I see you, Symphony Essentials, taking shortcuts, selling me a package as if it's a full one, and you've resampled one of the notes, so it's a loop because your oboe player was drunk on the day. I see you. I'm going to just change the velocity sensitivity. Okay, let me take this up. That's what we're after. Good, a little bit more volume. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, good. I think it's a bit high. And the oboe, of course, doesn't go lower than that, so we got a problem. Let's try flute again. So it's... This is freaking mysterious. I love it. Pump up the vibrato. So it's a... Yeah, lovely. Let's go. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Boom. Oops, I just hit the mic. No, I'm not sure what's going to happen now. One, two. Okay, that's good. We've got a flute sound, and there's a harmony happening between the bassoon and the flute, so it's woodwinds here. Now, let's move away from woodwinds and add a trombone instrument. I've got orchestra light set up here, but I don't actually want to use that. I want to get a solo instrument in, which means I need to load up. Oh, I've got a nice brass library called Forzo. Forzo is one of the most respected, well, they call them designer libraries for brass. It's like you're able to make sounds that are rooted in brass, but are mostly just like you can get a traditional sound, but you can also get a really novel, cinematic and out there kind of sound. For now, all we want to do is find the patch that is a single patch, so we don't actually want any of this. Okay, full ensemble, wet, close. This is about, they segment them out by the mix. So I'm going to go with core close, which I think is what we're on. No, we're on core default. Let's listen to it and see how it sounds before we start flicking around. Cool, so FYI, I'm just changing the routing here to send Forzo, which is this brass library, to the master channel, sorry, the pre-master channel. And now that I have it, I'm going to give it a little color. Let's make it blue and maximize it so we can see what we're doing. And then cool, except I mean, I like the fact that it's a full ensemble, but actually what I want is not a full ensemble. I want a single line. So we've got here 1 horns, and in brackets 12, which I think means type 1, 12 horns in total. So we don't have a lot of solo options here. Let's get rid of this library and see what happens when you load up 12 horns. I got, well, not gifted, but I guess I worked to earn this library. It cost a couple $100, and I was doing a Sort of like a job for a pair of theatre producers from London. Very, very colourful and funny friends of mine. Oh, that's nice. That could work. Actually, this could work as the lead instrument. I think it actually definitely works well as a lead instrument. Let's add Forzo to the trumpet. Let's make the trumpet and Forzo play the same thing. And listen to that. No. That's kind of what we're going for, isn't it? It smooths over the gap. Turn the click off. Cool. I'm going to add that as Forzo solo, and then I'm going to duplicate the whole thing to have a Forzo backing, Forzo harmony to go with the rest of the harmony instruments. So good. So Forzo and Forzo solo. Forzo solo is literally just a layer. In fact, what I should do is just add it to the trumpet patch, which I think is here. Oops, no, I don't want to open that. Good, here we go. Session horns, performance, and now what we can do is add Forzo Sol. We should be able to just drag it over, right? Can we do it? How do we drag it over? Boom. No, I don't know if we can add another instance like that. Okay. How about a copy paste job? Nope. Did it work? No, I just copy pasted the track itself. Alright, I'll figure that out later, no problem. So for now, we've just got a duplicate of the MIDI data. I'm going to take a chance and take this up a level. That sounds a bit nicer when you've got one higher octave and one lower octave. So there we go, that's the explanation behind that. Okay, so let's get back to where we were now. Forzo is going to be playing the role of harmony instrument here, a brass harmony instrument, to go with the other two harmony instruments, which currently are a bassoon, so I can't see behind there, a bassoon and a flute. Okay, so the flute, the bassoon, and Forzo are all playing together nicely. Let's solo them out and just work on that independently for a bit with the piano and the bass, the rhythm section. That's kind of what we're going for. It's a little bit of an exotic sound. Now let's add a third dimension to that. Two, and we're going to loop it. Here we go, and we're starting on the G. That's an E flat over a B minor. Not too much movement. So it's going to be a C sharp. Okay. Okay, let's go with that. No. That's it. Oh, the B is hitting the same note. Sorry, I'm in it now, just a minute. Yeah, let's do the fifth. Here we go. Recording. Screwed up the timing. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna wing this next part. Cool. Not too glamorous, but we have to be conscious of time. I don't have a lot of time left, so let's see how that sounds. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could just get in, just go deeper, deeper, deeper into it, you know, all day, every day. Good. All right, there is musical integrity in this piece, kids. There is a feeling of intentionality, and I really like it. It's going somewhere. It's worth sending to client and saying, what do you think of this? And that way you get a, you submit these sketches to get a sense of the direction you need to go in, and then approve it, or they provide feedback on how you can go next. Don't spend too much time on the sketch. Okay, so yeah, if you've just joined in, this is my music composition stream. I'm trying to do it every day at about 4 p.m. South African time, so it's like 6 hours ahead of New York. And what I do is I make music, and I also release music as templates on or through my YouTube channel. You can download them, purchase them through Gumroad, and also become a patron. I am looking forward to my first patron. The day is going to happen. Is it going to be you? I'm really, really looking forward to having my first patron. I've had patrons in the past, but not for my own music. So if you're feeling generous and you want to see what's on offer, you basically get access to all of my templates for like $6 a month. It's pretty much the best value that I can offer. So go check out the link in the description of the YouTube channel, and you can see what's on offer for patrons only. I'm making music regularly. I'm releasing these packs regularly. So if you're someone who uses Ableton or Reaper, feel free to go and download the free stuff in the meantime and see if it's for you. And if you like it, consider supporting my work. Would much appreciate it. Also, if you find any cool, if you know any cool, like other producers, music producers who you think might dig this channel, some weird South African dad telling you how to make music, you're welcome to share the channel with them. That'll be really cool of you. Cool. So next up, I'm looking for a swing jazz loop, a very slow brush loop. This might be a bit tricky. I don't think I've got a lot of those floating around. So first port of call is going to be, let's undock that. Thank you. And I want to just route it so that it's going to the right place. Disable master send and send it to the pre-master. Cool. This is a blank contact instrument, allowing me to populate it with the effects. The library that I'm looking for is called Session Drums. Sorry, Studio Drummer. And we're going for Session Kit Full, because I think there might be some loopy loops in there I can use. Some loopy loops for the kids. While that's loading, let's just play this back. Can we play it back while it's loading? No. Not sure that we can. We can. Very Miles Davis. I really have fun making these music streams, you know, it's kind of the highlight of my day these days. Cool, we're looking for a groove. Cool. What we're looking for is a groove, a library of grooves basically. So I'm going to search this library over here. Oops, not looking for the settings, and we can just move that over. Cool. Jazz, most definitely. Even if there is a kick that I don't want, I can just actually... How do we just play continuously, please? This kind of thing, yeah. Slow, but we need brushes. Oh, I'm never going to get through all of these. Scan them like this. I don't think they have brush kits on this. Ah. Come on, OBS, you can do it. Sorry, I'm having stream issues. I'm having frames. The connection isn't very strong at the moment. Sorry about that. Maybe just put